Hello, Super Community, Flitzman here. Don't know if you can hear anything in the background. My mom and dad are watching TV in their room. So, I haven't made a video in a while on this channel, so I decided that I should talk about the Owl House, because while I have talked about it before, I think there's a lot to be said about it, so I want to get down to the main reasons I really like the show, and why I think it has the potential to be the next Steven Universe. Also, by the way, a little bit of a side tangent. Has anybody noticed how the really bad stuff has only started to happen after Steven Universe ended? Kind of a weird coincidence if you ask me, but I digress. Let's get back to the video. Alright, I'm gonna start off with the most recent reason, and the reason everybody's gonna be screaming at me for. What? Representation, specifically LGBTQ representation, because it has the first animated main character on Disney Channel that I know of that is LGBTQ. And I know that we had the Cops in Gravity Falls and that boy and Andy Mack, but the Cops in Gravity Falls were kind of played for laughs and were kind of not main characters. And the boy and Andy Mack, that was a live action show, which means that it was viewed less as a kid's show than an animated show would be. So it's really cool of the Owl House to be doing that, especially since it's an animated show. Especially a lot of the jokes, like that fairy in the first episode that says, "Let me eat your skin." That was weird. And secondly, I want to talk about characters, because there are some really good characters on this show. The main characters, obviously, are Luz Nokita, who I hear a lot of people complaining about, saying that, oh, she's not like a really interesting main character, and oh, she's not like meant to be a main character. She's just a normal person. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the point. Not everybody is special, and it's unrealistic for every show to be making that a thing. And I know I'm saying that a show about witches and demons is unrealistic, but shut your mouth. Luz is basically the audience, because she likes fanfic, she writes fanfic, she makes fan art, she reacts how fans would react to certain moments, gasping at twists. It's exactly how an audience member would react, just magnified. Which is the point of her character, I think, is to put the audience in the shoes of the main character by knowing exactly what she is feeling, and feeling that as well. There is also Ida, who people always say is the most developed and intriguing character. And yeah, basically, she is definitely the most interesting and mysterious, and I care about her past the most because it's kept the most a mystery, like her curse and her sister and her parents, which they kind of abandoned that mystery. Also, I'm pretty sure the memory that she had at the end of The Intruder was actually of Grom. Let me explain. Grom can take the form of your worst fear. Obviously, Ida's worst fear would probably be whoever cursed her. And when she has a flashback to whoever cursed her, it looks a lot familiar as when Grom took the vague form of Luz. Also, quick break, Luz, you are so naive. I know that everybody has already said this about Enchanting Gromfright, but Luz, how can you like fanfiction this much and not pick up on the signs? It's so obvious. And of course, there's also King, who is just shrouded in both humor and mystery. Like, is he actually the king of demons? Is he just making that up? But again, I made a whole video about that. You can check that out. Is King Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls. I'll put a link to it somewhere on the screen in like one of the corners. I don't know which one. And there's also Hooty. Can I be honest? I really hope Hooty becomes the main villain, because this show is so for changing tropes in normal stories. like making the wise mentor a sleazy salesperson, instead of the mentor just being a two-dimensional, you should do this and that, and shrouded in metaphors. Ida tells it straight and isn't the best mentor most of the time. Like, she has her good teaching moments, but mostly Luce finds it out herself, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's pretty funny. But back to Hooty, he is constantly picked on, and I want him to get revenge somehow. And also, the name is the Owl House, which kind of makes Hooty the namesake, if you really think about it. But that's really confusing. Is he like the security measures? They say he controls the lights, and he's what gets conjured when they conjure the house. It's really confusing to me, and I don't know why. Also, there are a lot of side characters, like Edric and Emera, whose names I really struggled to get on the first take of my last Owl House video, the recap. Emera, when it comes to the Blights, Amity has the arc, Emera is kind of the brains of the operation, and Edric is as close to what they have for a comedic partner, because he tries to like Snow, and he's just not the brightest person. He wants to let Edric keep the bat, let Edric eat the bat, let Edric eat the Snow. Just also, everything that a character is supposed to do, they accomplish. In the first episode, we're supposed to hate Amity, and we hate Amity. In the most recent episode, we're supposed to sympathize with Amity, and that's exactly what they do. I think a big part of that is that they start out making our expectations as low as possible for Amity, and then raising them so much higher than we would have expected. Like with Pacifica, she always had kind of a mysterious backgrounds. Like, we could tell that it wasn't all just naturally her, and it had stuff to do with her family. But with Amity, we start out absolutely hating her, and then slowly over time, we learn more and more about her background. Speaking of mystery. For example, who cursed Ida? Maybe it was Hooty. Who's sending the letters? Again, maybe it's Hooty. He doesn't seem like he'd know how to spell Luce's name correctly. Although, then again, I don't know how he would write at all. Maybe just like a dog with a bone. I don't know. I dropped the pencil. It's completely covered in mystery, and it really gets me, like, thinking and theorizing about what the past could be and what will happen, and it gets me excited. I'm really excited for the next episode. Although I'm kind of worried that they're gonna somehow subvert the expectations of a romance story, and I can't think about that right now. We're at the 10-minute mark as of my recording, so I'm just gonna move on to the last one, which is satire. They have a lot of humor and satire and expectation subversion. Like I already said, the mentor character, instead of just being naturally wise, always right, and shrouded in metaphor, it's a mentor straight-talking, kind of dim-witted, and trying her best, but not always being right. And instead of it being a chosen one, it's a completely normal character. But for some reason, again, everybody holds that against Luce, even though that's a great subversion, not this again, of expectations when it comes to a main character. And I know this decade especially, and the past decade, we've had this kind of weird girl stereotype done to death. But Luce isn't that weird. She's normal weird and kind of needs to grow as a person, and that's exactly what she does. She is both proven right several times, because not everybody's wrong all the time, but also gets a reality check every single episode. Because nobody's always right, nobody's always wrong, you're never just one or the other. You are a combination of the two, always. If you're always right, I don't trust you. If you're always wrong, you're dead. But anyways, those are just some reasons I like the Owl House. If you haven't seen it, I seriously recommend you check it out. This was so weird. And until next time, blast that like button down below and subscribe so you don't miss another video. When you click subscribe, click the bell to the side. That way you can be notified. And until next time, it's time for me to fly off into the sky. See ya!